The organization wants to heighten the awareness surrounding issues first responders face. The inaugural ceremony was an emotional one for many of them. The keynote speaker, a woman who served on the New York City Police Department the morning of September 11th, 2001.
Growing up, I remember an expression. They were screaming bloody murder, but never understood what it meant. September 11 changed that.
September 11th, 2001, a day that will be seared into the memories of Americans living during the attacks.
To hear the cries of people being murdered, to watch people jump, sometimes in groups, and not to be able to do anything to help them, which, as you know, is something so foreign to first responders. To smell death and taste it in your mouth and pick up body parts scattered among rubble and debris are things that no one, including first responders, should ever have to experience.
28-year veteran of the New York City Police Department, Deputy Chief Teresa Tobin, worked through the worst terror attack on American soil. She shares what she remembers from that day to a crowd at the Vanderburgh County Public Safety Foundation's first Public Safety Appreciation Ceremony. Tobin speaks about the horrors of 9/11, not to make people sad, but to remember the brave men and women who sacrificed their own lives to save others.
Yet the worst images of that day were the ones that were unseen by the world. The empty seat at the dinner table, and children forced to grow up without a mother or a father.
Tobin says what first responders did that day on 9/11 is what any first responder anywhere would have done.
We run towards the danger, and while people are running away, why we do that, I can't answer that. We're crazy, but we just want to help.
While a lot of the ceremony was spent talking about 9/11, a few people from Evansville recalled the times local law enforcement was there to help them, no matter how big or small the problem was.
So the fact that the fire department arrived when they did, and the angelic voices that I heard telling me everything was going to be okay, was the biggest relief of my life.
And while everyone thanked the first responders for their service, Chief Deputy Tobin also made sure to thank the people of Indiana.
Please know in New York, we are well aware of Indiana standing by our side in the aftermath of 9/11. I do not know in the almost 16 years that have passed whether or not you have heard from a first responder. So on behalf of the citizens of New York, and in particular on behalf of the police department, thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Organizers say they plan to hold this ceremony every year on September 11th. Chelsea Kerbler, 44 News.